Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And this is a short overview of the month of June 2022, taking a look at the different planetary transits. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So up on the screen here is the chart of the transits coming up here in the month of June. And we will start off with Mercury stationing direct on the 3rd. And keep in mind that Mercury is still going to be going through a post-shadow. So we are slowly making our way out of this Mercury retrograde. But this has been a big Mercury retrograde, as it has been in the sign of Taurus here in the nakshatra of Rohini, which has everything to do with business, commerce, negotiation, deals, anything that is dealing with your creative process, especially for those who are entrepreneurs. Anything along the lines of your speech, because Taurus is related to the throat, and anything that is dealing with hospitality. So this has been a big time in terms of money and business with this Mercury retrograde for some of us. Some areas in business going haywire, some things that we need to take our time as far as negotiations and deals go. But with this Mercury coming direct, this is a great opportunity for business, and Mercury will stay in Taurus for the rest of June. So this is a huge opportunity with Mercury in Taurus in terms of using your communication skills, using your business skills. All of this is coming to your favor. So this is an excellent transit that we have coming up here with this Mercury stationing direct. Definitely taking an ease off of that Mercury retrograde. But shortly after that, on the 4th, we will see Saturn station retrograde. So we're not completely out of this time here of actually looking back and looking at the areas that we need to organize and plan properly. Saturn retrograde is bringing up a lot of past karmas. And so this is a big time of releasing and letting go of the past. And actually at the end of June, we will have a new moon that has everything to do with letting go. So we'll talk more about that as we move along here. But with this Saturn retrograde, this is a big time to look at the area of your life that is ruled by Aquarius, because that is a big area where you will find karmic backlog that needs to be cleaned out, that needs to be worked through. This is a big time of taking a step back and making sure that you are planning properly, that you're setting the right priorities, that you're not getting distracted with this Saturn Aquarius. Remember that we have just started this Saturn in Aquarius transit, and so this is giving us a sneak peek about what this is all about. But this Saturn retrograde really is asking us to review this area, to look back, to reflect, to see, are we really navigating this new energy, this new dynamic of Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is very strong in its Mula-Trikona sign here in Aquarius, where this really has a lot to do with responsibility. Aquarius, remember, is the sign of the humanitarian, so this has everything to do with your responsibilities, your duties, your position in the world. This has everything to do with any kind of groups or obligations that you're tied to. And so all of this is coming up at the moment, to look over all of these areas of your life, to make sure that you have this all together, that you're not committing to things that are not for your highest, greatest good. Now, as we continue here, on the 14th of June, we will see a full moon in Scorpio. And this is very intense because, as we know, the moon gets debilitated in Scorpio. That intensity, that passion of Scorpio does not go so well with the moon, which is looking for security. And so this is a very intense full moon where we are being asked about, once again, are we committing to things that are not of value to us? Scorpio is on that opposite side of Taurus, where they are both dealing with your values, they're dealing with your money, they're dealing with the things that you're attached to, the things that you're holding on to. And specifically, Scorpio has a lot to do with what you're holding on to within relationships. And so all of those emotional attachments that you have, taking a look at that area to make sure that everything is correct. that you're not holding on to something that you believe that will be fixed or will get better, but actually taking a look and seeing, are you holding on to something that is toxic for you, that is not good for you, that needs to be cleared out? Scorpio has everything to do with letting go of what no longer serves you. It is the Scorpion, it holds the poison, and so this is all about extracting the poison, getting the drama, the toxic energy out of your life, removing the junk that no longer serves you. And this is especially true as this will happen in the nakshatra of Jyeshta, which we'll talk about more in a future video. But this Jyeshta nakshatra has everything to do with finding deeper knowledge to get going on your spiritual journey ahead, and not holding on to these attachments that are no longer serving you, that are distracting you from your purpose. Jyeshta is the last nakshatra before we get into the third and final section of the nakshatras, which when we get into that last section, transiting over into Mula, after Jyeshta, that has everything to do with our spiritual path, our spiritual calling. And so Jyeshta is that last nakshatra that has everything to do with asking bigger questions, seeking out the deeper answers, going to the root of everything, learning, researching, understanding on a deeper level. This very inquisitive energy has everything to do with looking at where you are in your life and asking those deeper questions of, are these attachments really serving you? Is this really your correct place that you're in? Are you attached to the right things? Or is there something here that needs to be cleaned out, that needs to be removed, and something where you need to step into a new domain within your life? And shortly after that, on the 15th, we will see the Sun shift ahead into Gemini. So Sun has been here in Taurus, where the focus has been a lot on business, on money, on resources, on family, security, things that we are holding on to. But as we move ahead into Gemini, this is a zone of exploring, of connecting, of moving ahead into the future with what you want to do with your life. And so this energy is changing significantly here as we are shifting ahead into the summer season, where there is a lot of vibrant energy that's coming in with this Sun in Gemini. Remember that Gemini is a very restless energy, very changeable, and we have the Sun, which is very much fixed and aligned with our soul calling, our purpose. And so there's a little bit of a difficulty here as the Sun comes into Gemini. Where are you getting distracted by things that aren't for you? Again, this whole theme is going to come up here in the month of June. Where are we holding on to attachments that don't serve us? Are we committing to things that are not for us? Or are we going ahead with our path in life? We will see Venus enter into the sign of Taurus here on the 17th. Venus loves being in Taurus as it is its home sign. And so as Venus comes here into Taurus, this is a great time for socializing. This is a great time for making connections, especially when it relates to business and opportunities in acquiring wealth. Once again, this Taurus energy is related to money, and this is especially true in anything that has to do with entrepreneurship, anything that has to do with using your speech, using your artistic talents to your advantage at this time. Taurus is related to the throat, so any kind of singing, acting, any kind of public speaking, this is all connected to this Venus in Taurus. And this is also a very hospitable energy. So for those of you who are working in careers that have to do with helping others, providing a service, this all is a great time with this Venus Taurus and Mercury Taurus that we will see here. As we move ahead, on the 26th, we will see Mars enter into Aries. Mars also loves being here in the sign of Aries. It is its Mulatrikon sign, its strongest home. So Mars loves being here in Aries. And after coming out of that Pisces zone, where it was a little bit more geared towards spirituality and empathy and a little bit softer, this is a huge time where the energy is going to start to speed up. As Mars comes into Aries, we see this fast fast-paced energy of moving towards our goals, of getting things done. So for those of you who have been feeling tired, who have been feeling sluggish, who have been feeling these major blocks, this is a time here where Mars comes into Aries and everything starts to speed ahead. So this is definitely a great time to put your energy, to focus your energy into what you want to do in life. This passion, this energy, this drive coming up here at the end of June is a great opportunity. Now we will also see on the 28th here that Neptune will station retrograde. And so this is definitely a time to assess your spiritual life and your direction. Are there things that are clouding your judgment at this time? Are you getting distracted? Again, we have this Neptune happening in Pisces, where this is looking for you to move towards your spiritual path, your higher path, to move to something that is more meaningful. On the 28th, we will also see a new moon, and this is a major event of letting go. We will see this in Ardra, which is the nakshatra that has everything to do with crying and letting go. It is the star of sorrow. And as we know, Ardra has the power to make efforts. And so it is all about letting go of your pain, letting go of the past, letting go of the things that no longer serve you so that you can gain the strength to push ahead. So this is a major new moon that is bringing us into a space of empowerment where we can strive forward here. But this has everything to do with letting go. You can't move into this new space if you are holding on to anything from the past. So let's go ahead and jump into the horoscope for each of your zodiac signs. And just a quick disclaimer, I am using Vedic Astrology, which is using the sidereal zodiac. So if you are coming from Western tropical astrology, this will not work for you. There is a calculator down below in the description where you can get your accurate information. Another disclaimer is that this horoscope is not going to go by your sun sign. This is going to be according to your ascendant or moon sign. The ascendant tells us the direction of our life, how all the karmic lessons and patterns will play out for us. The moon sign has everything to do with how you are relating to the world and what you are perceiving within your mind. So these are the most important charts for these horoscopes. So making sure that you are using Vedic astrology and that you are following your moon sign and or ascendant sign is very important. For those of you with a Taurus moon or Taurus ascendant, we will see this Saturn retrograde taking place in your 10th house. So this definitely can feel like a time where you are stopping or something isn't happening in your career area. This is a big time to reevaluate everything to make sure that you're on the right track. This Saturn is demanding discipline, and so you can see very slow results taking place in your career. But this is a great time to continue, as Saturn is not going to deny anything. Saturn is here to help you create a stable foundation through discipline and patience. We have this new moon that is taking place in your second house. So this can be a big opportunity to make some new money, to find a new way of bringing in some security into your life as we come into this new moon. This also can be a time where you are coming up with new situations from your past. But remember that this new moon is taking place in Ardra, the star of sorrow. This has everything to do with releasing, letting go. So this is a big time of letting go of any sort of negative attachments to your past. We have this full moon that is taking place here in your 7th house. So this is major. This is going to happen along your main axis here for your 1st and 7th house. And so this is a big time where this is going to affect your relationships. This full moon taking place here in Scorpio and jyotisha. Time to look deeper into your relationships with others and to make sure that everything is according to your values, that you are not holding on to any sort of toxic connections. We have, of course, the Sun and Mercury that is on the opposite end of this, but we're going to see this Mercury stay here, but the Sun will move on into your second house. So again, that spotlight has everything to do with letting go of your past and moving forward.